Let's see. Alright, folks, just give me a minute, just setting something up real quick. Late night stream today, but what I'm doing is I'm on a new server. The old server that I was on is unfortunately shutting down. We just couldn't get enough people. So I've begun establishing something on this new server here. The server is called Free Nights. It's an RP server. I'm not big enough that expressing what server I'm on is a problem. When I say I'm not big enough, I mean I'm not big at all. But any of you who watch this already know that. You're just my Facebook friends mostly. So I am gathering, as the maesters officially label it, a fuck ton of stone. As you can see, I'm on 8,000. Important to note, this server only has ×3 resource gathering, so it's pretty base. The previous server I was on, the one that's about to shut down, was at ×10, which made being a solo player, such as myself, this is console, which made a solo player such as myself, I had this on my PC for a bit, like on my laptop, but it really couldn't run it, and I had no business trying. As soon as I get a better computer, I do want to also, you know, get it installed on the computer, because if anything, I can design things easier on the computer, because the console command fly actually works on PC. It does not work in single player with admin turned on console. Seems silly, and it is. But what was I saying? Ah, yes, something important. Yes. So ×3, so basic, pretty basic resource gathering. It was ×10 on the previous server, but we called that a boosted server. It was awesome. So many nice advantages. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Skyrim is super fun. Now this game, unfortunately, this game lags on my console, which is built to run games like this, so my computer, even toned down, would have problems with this. My computer has had problems with Minecraft from time to time. But it is an older model laptop, and it is getting to that point where, had I the money, I would have replaced it by now, but we're just waiting. Alright, wait. What am I doing? Alright, so another fun thing about this server, it's an RP server. I should be in calculator, I mean, like I said, it only runs Minecraft badly from time to time. Your phone is more advanced than my laptop, I guarantee it. My laptop is getting on 5 years old now. Anyway, actually, okay, it's an RP server, and it's a friendly RP server, which means if you die, you get to keep your stuff. So on a server like this, death is actually just a means of fast travel. And I was gonna off myself, but then you don't get to see the big reveal. Still more advanced than my fucking laptop, I guarantee it. I will keep that in mind when eventually I have to upgrade or replace. Anyway, so I don't think anyone else on the server has actually noticed me yet, because from down there you can't really see anything I've built because it's all too low to the ground. Death has the penalty of being highly inconvenient. If you die, you go back to one of the 3 spawn points. The bed you set down, the bedroll you set down, or somewhere random in the desert. But on this server, you don't lose your items when you die. However, I was fighting a boss, it got the better of me, so I had to journey all the way back to that boss. Luckily, since I know that route so well, I got it quick enough that the boss hadn't really healed yet. and I was able to beat it. I have this thing about soloing bosses because I'm incredibly stubborn, so I don't have a choice. Okay, now, the foundations I have laid out for the castle, they're not quite done yet, which is why I was going to get all of that stone. I'm making the foundations out of the most basic material, because easier to plan with cheaper material than waste as much time as it takes to get the nice stuff. So this is base sandstone over here. That over there, those are foundations. Those are standard foundations. I don't use fence foundations. I use nice, thick, regular foundations, but I don't do what a lot of people on this game do, which is make walls out of foundations. Now, the reason they do this is because even though foundations are the most resource-intensive, they are definitely the highest hit point thing you can build. But I don't like the look of it. I think it's lazy. And I have my own wall building method, which will make my walls 2-3 times as strong as anyone else's. So, now the first thing I actually built in this area. Actually, yes, you can. You can build, not only can you build better shit on the sandstone, you can, well, I double up my walls. I'll explain that in a moment, but first I want to show you, see this little building right here? This is the first thing that I built on this server. I came for this spot because I knew this spot. This spot is rich in iron. Super rich in iron and stone. And a short distance away, well, an unsurvivable fall, but I built that elevator, will get me down to where there's water, where I've got fish traps, where there is aloe to be had, and with all the hyenas and crocodiles down there, plenty of hides, which means plenty of leather, plenty of tar. Now, this building that I first built was built out of sandstone foundation and stone brick, which is the second tier, it's the mid-tier material, stone brick walls. It is now all level 3. This is all tier 3 stuff, except for that's a tier 2 door, and that's one tier 2 ceiling piece. I'm keeping that because I plan to make this thing taller, and I need to know where the support pillar needs to go, because without this support pillar, I can't actually close up that one space, that one hole in this thing. Why is it a triangular building, you ask? Because I was tired of building in circles and squares, and I wanted a triangular building. So, let's see. What am I back here for? My wood. My wood. But what I do in order to build a good wall is, I'll go ahead and build it out of the shitty material, because I plan on demolishing it. I don't want anyone on the server necessarily to... oh yeah, no, and the triangular tiles are not just equilateral, but their length is the exact same length as any of the square tiles, which means that as long as you know what you're doing, they can fit together perfectly. It's the only method of building circles in this game is to have the right combination of squares and triangles until it's circular enough. Generally, a 12-sided shape is about as circular as you're going to get without going nuts. So, what I will do now is I will demonstrate how I build my walls. Go down here through the extensive Make Stuff menu. Alrighty. Okay, so 2 sandstone walls. And I was already making a bunch of these anyway, because I need to finish planning out this build. I'm mostly just playing it by ear, but I've built enough stuff that I do know generally what I want. Yeah, it's a lot like that, except I can have diagonal lines, which I can't have in Minecraft. Like here, for example. As you can see, I've already started building a circle. And I wanted a circular tower behind what is the throne room. That is the throne room over there. Alright, now, this is a wall foundation. Oh, right. I forgot. Okay. The method will work on that, but it's a little more complex than I care to deal with at this exact moment. So I'm going to do it over here on the square, like I should have done in the first floors. Alright. Da-da-da-da-da. Walls, walls, walls. Okay, now. There's a wall there. There's a wall there. And as long as you've got the walls up first, you can get a foundation in between them. You cannot put a wall around a foundation. You can only put a foundation in between the walls. So what I'm going to do is wall off the outside first. Then, well, once it's walled off, fenced at the top so no one can climb it, and gated so that no one can get through it, I'm going to wall the interior side. And then once I've walled that too, I will fill the whole thing in with foundation, making it as nigh unbreakable as possible. And that is the strongest wall you can possibly create. It is stronger than a wall made out of pure foundation because it has two walls around it. If they get through the wall, if they get through the outer layer of wall, all they find is foundation inside. If they get through that, they find another layer of wall. By the time that happens, there's no way that you shouldn't have killed your invaders. If you can't kill your invaders before they can get through all three layers of wall, something is wrong. It is a foundation sandwich. I'm not 100% sure what shape I want to go with over here, but I want this to be a nice big building too. I am resisting the urge to make this building symmetrical. I have made too many symmetrical buildings, and I don't want to make this one symmetrical. So I'm doing my absolute best not to. I could make it a hexagon. Definitely within the realm of possibility. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, I had the sandstorm mask on because there was a sandstorm. There are not enough hexagons in the world. I actually made a pretty good building. You should be able to find my other streams from what you're watching right now. And if you find those streams, you will see the most hexagonal type building that I built. It's not really a hexagon, it's a dodecagon? No, not dodeca. No, maybe it is. Yeah, it is dodeca. I think. It's a 12-sided building. So. I've got that. But I'm not fully... That's what I was... I had to think on that one. It's been a bit since I built a building in this shape. So once the other server was no longer going to be a thing, I was very sad. But I was also building different shapes on this one, so... But I've been building these for the past while, these kinds of buildings, so I remember the pattern now. I want this to be a nice, big round tower. Boom, boom, boom. Bump, bump, bump. And 1, 2, 3. Although to make it truly round or more even, I am going to have to build it one more layer out. 'Tis almost night. Forsooth, forsooth. But it's alright, I'm quite used to these conditions. Do you mean nighttime or building stupid shit? I mean both, actually. Was not fast enough on the draw. 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Targaryen should sound really familiar. Wait. Nope. That's not quite right. What was the first game that I ran? No, that was the first game I played with y'all. Yes. That is correct. Okay, so this won't be a perfect circle or anything because I can't make the two things match up and I want them to match up. Like and have a nice clear connection far more than I want those spaces to be filled. But, you know, that's okay. I like unique shaped buildings. And yes, Game of Thrones is correct. This is an RP server, and I decided I wanted to roleplay as a Targaryen, so I am building this castle as my homage to the Red Keep. Oh yeah, it is dark as fuck. I can actually barely see. I'm just used to not being able to see and working through the darkness. There we go. Here's a torch, so that now you can see what I am doing. Boom, boom, boom. And just 1, 2, 3 more. Just like that. We are done here. This is about the size of the tower that I wanted. What's going to be in this tower, you ask? I have no idea. Not yet. No, I guess I have some idea. Might be where I keep my chamber. Eventually. Alright. Now, two other matters. Well, this is a survival game that takes place in the world of Conan the Barbarian. There are actual story elements, though, unlike vanilla Minecraft. Because vanilla Minecraft did not have story. You just did things. Yes, as opposed to Conan the Bard. Conan the Barbarian's lesser-known cousin. Let's see. Now, where the fuck was sandstone? Here it is. It's in alphabetical order, so it's not always the easiest for me to remember exactly where something is. I will pass by it. It's a D&D joke. Boop. 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 Okay. So. Now, this is what I was envisioning as the, not quite the guardhouse, but definitely like barracks of some kind. This entire triangular tower is going to be a workshop. It's already a workshop on the inside. You saw how crowded it was. But it's going to be far more of a workshop by the time I am done with it. Lots of squares in this particular castle build. I'm not too worried about that, though. It's not that I don't like squares. They can be fucking boring. But by the same token, this building is also super asymmetrical. So I think we're doing okay. In terms of uniqueness. Now, I'm going to put a gate over there, and I'm going to put a gate right here. I am not really up on Minecraft news. I know that they've updated underwater features, but that is the extent of my knowledge on Minecraft right now. How big should barracks be? Pretty big. It does make me think I should make the main hall bigger as well. Well, no, the main hall is going to be plenty big. Oh yeah, there's like fish and shit now, aren't there? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now, this castle may not be the widest, but it's going to end up being... Are drowned like... Enderman, but... scarier? And drowned? Now there's a thought. Swimming zombies. Hilarious. Alright, that is complete. That space over there is going to be left empty because that's going to be like a courtyard. I'm going to put a well in it so I can stop going down to the river for water and just go down for fish. Ooh. That sounds interesting. But over here, what are we doing over here? So I've already got a round tower over there. Ooh, I know what to do over here. 15% with a chance of spawning a trident. Those 8 and 5%. God damn. diamond blocks. That sounds pretty good. Alright. It's got a mid-range and a long-range? Oh, that's fucking sweet. I would hope to get a loyalty enchantment, because, I mean, come on. I wouldn't want to lose such a precious thing. Okay, that tower will be that big, but I want this tower to be bigger. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Now there is... The most impressive building that I built is not on this server, and I'm not eager to rebuild it either, because it's fucking hard. The most impressive thing that I ever built was a palace on a lake. And I can show that to you if you want. I'll have to exit out of this server and get into the old one, because the old one is about to shut down. It just hasn't shut down yet. But it's not long for the world. You dig? Not really, no. Unfortunately, this game takes a hardline stance against that sort of fun nonsense. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have fucked up what I was trying to do. Let me fix this first, and then yeah, I'll go ahead and show you the other server. What the fuck was I doing? I know how this is supposed to work. Oh, I was supposed to, with the thing... Hold on, let's double check that. Yeah, that's what I did wrong. Alright, fuck it. Okay, so we're going to exit the main menu real quick. I'm actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I'm in that building right now. Checking permissions, blah blah blah. No one gives a fuck. This is the one. Excuse me. Oh god. Message of the day is nothing. Yes, I do want to show off the building because it was incredibly difficult to build. And on this server, I was friends with the admin because we had been together in a clan on a different server. So they gave me the materials to do this because I had just finished building this same exact structure I'm about to show you on the previous server the admin and I were both on when those admins decided to just shut the server down because they were tired of it or whatever. Truth be told, that server was a shit show. Anyway, so that was my workhouse. But this over here, my crowning achievement in building. I want to see it from the shore so you can see some of the more fun aspects. Out of stamina, just gotta... I built 2 altars because I worship 2 gods as this character. And both of those are completely upgraded altars, which is why the shining lights through the sky. Now, this palace, you'll notice it appears to be in the water, and you are correct. Can you build in the water? Not exactly. That's what all those pillars are for, you see. Now, what's funny enough is the first time that I built this thing on that previous server, thank you. First time I built this thing on the previous server, I got it right, exactly right the first time, on accident. It gave me the effect I wanted. This time I had to try a couple of times. This is the first successful foundation I put down, from which I built pillars, just these pillars right here, so that I could lay down this first tile, right there. And knowing that the water was knee-deep exactly the way I wanted it on this water-bound palace, I built the rest from there. It is a 21 by 20 area. No, I'm sorry, 21 by 22. 22 long, 21 wide, because I like doors smack dab in the middle of buildings, so I have to make them an odd number long, or an odd number wide. I have a bunch of archers. I outfitted them in that armor. They're all wearing heavy. I had just finished outfitting them when the admins announced that they were going to shut the server down. As you can see, I have the dual wall structure even on this palace. You cannot get into those walls. I have this mostly because I am a protective sort of person. Yes. Well, double doors, not exactly. It's just the one. So, I built those statues. I built all of this. Everything you see here is... I put it all together. And it's a bitch and a half. Well, the top level is a bitch and a half. Statues. Throne. Strictly speaking, I'm not wearing the right armor set. This is not the set that truly goes with this character. It's a mix of the two sets. And so for posterity, we're going to wear... This comes from the Aquilonian DLC. So it's a Greco-Roman inspired theme. That's where all these building pieces come from too. It's actually not a giant crack on the ceiling. It's the underside of this most precious thing, the map room. It does look like a giant crack, though. But this is the map room. This is the fast travel system of the game. I'll show it to you in a moment. Because we can use that fast travel system to get to another thing that I built that I was very proud of. This was my named dancer. Another player got it for me. I traded them things they didn't want to get. Very risque outfit, but that's because I worship the god of lust. 15 minutes pretending to be a kaiju. That's... I mean, that would take 15 true names, because you can turn into a god for a minute at a time. But there's my pit of Yogg. It's where I worship Yogg. Yogg eats people. Well, Yogg encourages you to eat people. Now, there is one flaw in this palace. This spot right here. That map room that you saw down below makes everything above it super unstable due to the needed pillar placement. And I just couldn't fix it. I had it fixed on the previous server, and I know if I tried a little harder, I could fix it. What's a ladder? Perfectly useless. A ladder is essentially just a climbable surface that you can put in the middle of a room. Don't need a ladder, can just climb walls. Ladder doesn't make it faster, it doesn't make your stamina go down, it just allows you to put a climbable surface where there isn't one. This is the Shrine to Derketo, the goddess of lust. That's where I got that sexy outfit that I put on that dancer. Now, before she unfurled this cape, because the shrines go through different stages, this is the tier 3 version of the shrine. Before she unfurled this giant stone cape for the third tier, the statue also has a pretty nice butt. It's important to note that the goddess of lust has a pretty nice butt. It's important to me, anyway. These fences that you see here, lining the top of my roof, make this building unclimbable. You cannot climb onto the roof from the outside. You have to go from the inside. And if you're not a member of my clan, you cannot open one of my doors. I only regret one thing. And that was that in the building of this, I never completed the secret underwater basement that this thing was going to have. I have the hatch door. Oh wait, this is the second floor, not the first floor. I have the second door. The hatch door. It's right over here. As you can see, unless you knew where it was, you probably weren't going to find it, because you weren't going to know to look. And this would have gone down to an enclosed space. Just a little hidden basement, because I'm always safety conscious when it comes to things. She is fond of eating people, actually. Remember the D&D game that I sort of started with you guys, but soon after that my car started to break down and I couldn't come anymore? Or I started to get too busy on weekends too and I couldn't come anymore? In that world, the world with the cannibalistic mer people, this is me role-playing as their most famous queen's firstborn daughter. Because I thought it would be cool to adapt that character. Not Dragon Ball Z, that was a one-shot. The one that I made in my world, the one that you built the Wyvern class for. So anyway, I've got my map room. I've got every obelisk attuned. There are obelisks throughout the world that are the fast travel stations if you have a map room. If you don't have a map room, they're just obelisks. I missed one. I know where that one is, but it didn't matter. So, I'm going to take you out to my next greatest creation on this server. I had just finished building this. Like, I actually literally just finished building this other thing. And had just started arming my palace when they announced the server was going to be flipped. so I'm a little fat. But, oh god. Hyenas. I didn't expect a hyena to be right there. I can kill it. I can kill it easy. I'm top level and this is a top tier weapon. So. Anyway. Really love the DLC. I love this marble look. And welcome to the arena. The idea here is we were going to host PvP events. I wanted to make it look as much like a coliseum as I could. Those are witchfire torches. So when nighttime comes, this place looks fucking rad. Everything, it'll get dark in the middle there, but not too dark to see. And this whole place is just lit up purple and blue. It's great. Yes, so this is my arena. This way, the way that we came, leads us out into the audience chamber. But if you go the other way, this is where the contestants will file through. Would have filed through. I may offer to rebuild this arena on the new server. I still have the specs. I know how big this thing is. It's really low to the ground, but as you can see the fencing, it's impossible to climb out once you're in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, okay. It's important for me to know the inner dimensions of this thing if I want to recreate it. If I'm asked to recreate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, is it 1, 2? Yeah, that's 4. 3, 4, 5. That's 5, so almost even. Not super noticeable. Oh, and of course, the VIP box. For myself. Not really force other players into war games, but you can host them. Host a tourney if you have a prize or something. That seems to be standard practice. NPCs, if an admin, for example, is hosting the tournament, they can spawn any NPC from the admin list. And this could potentially serve to fight them too. No problem. But this is where the hosts, and likely myself, would also sit. You can sort of watch the games from up here. This is mostly for show. The real meat and potatoes, the real bread and butter of the VIP section is this up here. You can see everything from any angle. And yes, I checked, it's impossible to climb into the MVP box as well. They're not MVP, VIP. It's impossible to climb into that box. I've tried. I made sure it was impossible. But yeah, this is just about the coolest thing I built. Besides the water palace, because the water palace was just fucking harder. It was so much harder. This took me a good deal of work, though. Because even though I was sort of building it for the admins, I refused their help. I didn't want any materials. I wanted to build this on my own. And even on this boosted server, it took me about a week to build this. because it takes a long time, even on a boosted and very fast server, which this was. The crafting time for things is reduced here, or was. It took a long time. There was one thing that I built on the first server that I was on before they wiped it the first time. They wiped it the first time and then they abandoned it completely after that. I built a replica of the wall from Game of Thrones. And I built it... Actually, I can just show you. Oh, this is another server where death doesn't really have consequence. So, in order to get back to where I was faster... I will show you the rough area where I built the wall. The wall is not here. I didn't build it on this server because I was asked not to. So I respect their wishes and did not build it. Oh yeah, no, that bone splintering noise is friggin' awful. Need to switch into my winter gear first, though, because it is cold where we're going. Because the thing about black ice, which is a building material and a tier 3 building material, is that it's less resource intensive because you have to go to a harsher environment to get it. And you can't create black ice save by a ridiculous amount of effort at one of the shrines. And, like, it's super not worth it when you can just go mine the shit. Winterized gear. This is actually base set red, by the way. You can dye your armor in this game. Which is badass. So I dyed this cyan. The other armor that you saw is also dyed. That's not its original color scheme. Here we go. The game was recently updated, so one big thing did change. Yeah, dyeing non-leather armor would be a cool idea, or dyeing non-wool blocks. Alright, this is where I built the wall. I built it from... because you can't build in that zone over there. The game won't let you. So I found the edge. Around here-ish. Might be nice. I built from that mountain round. And yes, this was a bitch and a half to do, but I was happy to do it. It took me 2 weeks, 2 real weeks to build it. But I was determined, and no one got up here fast enough to stop me. As soon as players started discovering it, they started complaining to the admins, and I told them, 1, I was here first, and I was just the first person to get here, so I'm the first person to build defense up here. And 2, if they wanted to take it down, they were welcome to challenge me. That whole thing turned into a mess. Anyway, so I built the wall from that of the mountain to up into this mountain. Now, all told, I think that was 140... I remember 136 as a number, but I know that's not how long it was. That was just how long my batches tended to be for some reason. I'll tell you why. 1, it was the best place to replicate the wall based on geography, defendability, etc. Anyway, so it was 150 wide and 40 units high. I think the wall might literally have been about as tall as an avatar. So as tall as a god. Why this spot in particular? Because this spot, for thematic reasons, if the Night Watch existed in this world, this is where they would build the wall, because that place is where the giants come from. And, you know, frost giants are spooky. From a strategic standpoint, I built it here because this is the greatest source of black ice in the game. Yes, these 3 nodes right here. I'm just joking. The rest of the black ice is inside this temple. Also inside this temple is the, what is it, the Ice Forge? Frozen Forge. You know, I'm just going to go in there. I'm just going to go in there and show you. Do I not have food? Or health potions? I have these. That ought to be good enough. So those will heal me and give me extra stamina. Anyway, it was messy because it was a PvP server that kind of discouraged a lot of PvP, which bothered me, but I had already built some impressive stuff before they really started cracking down on really dumb rules. And I was stubborn and didn't want to leave. There's a system on the server called, or that they had as like their own like little custom rules. Not like rules enforced by the game, but rules enforced by the players, where you had your territories that you could claim and yada yada. In order to claim a territory, you had to have a big enough clan, in order to do it officially. The problem they had with me was that I was claiming territory, but I didn't have a big enough clan. You had to have a 10-person sized clan, which was the max clan size on that server, in order to claim territory, which was horseshit. I was on that server longer than 70% of the people on that server, I'm pretty sure. I got here first. I just am not super great at making friends online. I don't trust people super easily. So, I couldn't get a clan size big enough to officially take the spot. But I told them if they wanted it. Anyway, that's the forge. I think it's Emir's Forge. I don't remember what it's called. I really don't. All I know is it's the only source of black ice weapons and tools. It was mostly one admin who was that kind of asshole. It wasn't... A lot of the players are pretty cool, and some of them we've kept in touch. But they all had their own clans, so they didn't need to join me. So at maximum clan, I only had 6 people out of the 10 that I needed. Well, fuck them. I had already built the wall. And outside the wall, I had built Castle Black. I argued that because I put in the effort, I should not be punished, and I should not have to take the wall down, which was something that one of the really shittier players was trying to get me to do. I say shittier, and it's just because the dude was actually 16, and he acted like it. He got super pissed super easy, and I wasn't trying to egg him on, but there were times that I just didn't want him to be happy, because he had done so much to annoy me. Why did I put that set of pillars there? I don't care. But him especially was constantly whining to the admins about doing the thing. And the thing is, I conceded to some things regarding the wall, because the wall was outside where the obelisk is. Well, it's a long story. I'm getting to it. Because the wall was built outside where the obelisk is, so anyone who had already touched the obelisk could get in. Anyone who hadn't touched the obelisk basically couldn't, except for a hole in the bottom of the wall that I forgot about. But that one player who never complained also found and just kept to himself. He was running in and getting black ice all the time. Which was fine. My whole purpose, strategically, was to control the black ice so that I would always have something to trade. Because I needed gold, and I wasn't... We players weren't allowed in the volcano area, which was horseshit. It was the dumbest rule on that server. But clan leaders, or kings, essentially, because they were kingdoms, kings could go in or send someone in to mine in there, because the volcano is the only source of mineable gold. Because gold can only be gained from obsidian nodes in this game. So, ultimately, the guy forced the issue. We had a duel. It was dumb, but he refused to fight me one-on-one. And we had a couple of tournaments on that server. My very first tournament, which was essentially my first PvP in the game, I did win the entire tournament. So I don't remember if I beat him, and that's why he didn't want to fight me one-on-one. Because he refused. He demanded it be a 2-on-2, and of course, because it was 2-on-2, I couldn't quite concentrate, and I made some mistakes, and I ended up just barely losing. So I technically got to keep the wall, with the condition that I keep the big gate open at all times now. But it didn't matter, because the admin decided to wipe the server like 2 days later. Anyway, this is the volcano. I put on this particular armor because this particular armor is essentially heat-proof. Okay, not exactly heat-proof, as you can see, I'm still very hot, end quote, but it's cold enough that it's not a problem. Something, something, unnatural chill, something, something. The armor is basically haunted. How a snake is living inside is beyond me. I know they're cold-blooded, but there are limits. This is inside a volcano. If I wasn't wearing this armor, I'd be dead. I'd have died of heat stroke already. I might build the wall. There's no rule against it in the server that I'm currently in, I don't think, and I don't think any of them are gonna run across this feed until it's far too late. So I might build the wall. Sorely tempted to join the server. Well, if you're gonna join the server, you gotta have a PS4 first, because this is definitely PS4 version. Oh, I am gonna go. I did build something here inside the volcano. I'm going to show it to you now. I built. Yeah, it's a bummer. I appreciate the offer though, because I would love to be able to establish a Night's Watch. This building is a mess, but it doesn't have to be pretty, it just had to be a building. Again, safety conscious. A tower that continues to the build limit. I have no idea what the build limit is. I would also like to see that. But it'd be a pain in the ass, as I can't fly. One player on this server did build a thin, like a small tower. It was small around, but it was 40 sections high. Anyway, we thought he was gone, so since he had left for a week without telling us anything, we assumed he wasn't coming back to the server, so we destroyed the tower, which was fun and easy, because there were no supports inside the tower. There were only the tower walls, so all we had to do was break the base sections and the entire thing came crumbling down. This here, I can't remember what it's called right now. The Well of Skelos. It's a dungeon, there's a boss inside, but much more importantly than a boss, there's another special forge. That special forge is how you get obsidian, one of the strongest materials in the game. What's funny is before they updated it, obsidian worked rather normally. Because the PC version had composite obsidian up for a while, but the PlayStation 4 version is always behind the other versions. But that's true of most games. So while that was happening, the obsidian dealt a shit ton of damage, but was frail as hell. Like, it was just not as durable as any of the other weapons. Now, however, it's composite obsidian, so it's as sharp as it used to be while being much more durable. But yes, the volcanic forge here is used to make that composite obsidian. But I have had my fun on this server. I am going to exit this server and get back to work on what is essentially the Red Keep. I'm going to build it to be red. I haven't picked the color of the roof yet. There's so many different roof tiles, and I haven't quite picked what material I want to make the roof out of. Black ice might look really good. You go grab that iced tea. I'm very sure. Based on the lag, you might be right. Here we go. Favorites. What I want, what I need. Okay. Another thing that I think was holding this newest server, or the previous server that we have to leave back, was the fact that you have to pay basically $1 per player slot per month. So we only had 30 player slots. I think most people avoid servers less than 40 people. But this server has 60 people. That means someone is paying $60 a month to keep this thing running. And that's pretty cool, in my opinion. That also means that there's a chance for much bigger battles and bigger... what do you call it? Just bigger wars in general. It's always hilarious when bits do that for no reason, when it's trying to render everything at once, I guess. Okay, I think I know exactly where I fucked up. Come fly with me, let's fly away. You and I are so awfully different, too awfully different to ever be pals. Do 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 do. Your head's as massive as a meteorite. You've got the weenie like a Christmas tree light. I bet money you'll marry a honey who's pretty and funny, and her name will be Ted. Alrighty. I've got style flair. Just look at my hip hair. That's quite a nice do there. Okay. So... thank you! Right? I was also pretty happy with how I looked in that. I was like, damn, son. I look good in profile. I was quite pleased with that picture. Alright. A bit of an odd-shaped building. But we want uniqueness here. I want things that are a little outside the norm for this castle. It's too outside the norm. I can't do it. I tried. Can't do it. Can't do it. I just can't. Alright. But that looks so sloppy. Doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, that's a very good question. I know that if you're on top of a building when it collapses, you will take fall damage. But I'm not 100% sure on the rest of it. Build a really tall thing just so it kills people who break it down. You could, but it'd be difficult to trap an enemy on top of the tower while their fellows destroyed it without knowing. But yes, I suppose you could do that. I don't know if fall damage kills NPCs, though. Oh shit, if I do this, it won't even look weird from the outside. So those blank spaces will be there, but they won't be noticeable. Let's do that. Let's plug up those holes. Besides, now it kind of looks like a crown. And I can get behind that. Let's see if I can do something similar over here. Just kind of plug up this hole. I'll take what I can get. Maybe that'll work. Alright, so this castle is going to be very asymmetrical. And I want that. Oh. No, unfortunately, when the stuff breaks, it just breaks. Like, here, let me give you an example real quick. Alright, so I built that. And that. And that. And that. So, if I do this, breaks all of it. So no, that would be awesome. What you were suggesting would be the dopest shit. I would love that. But the game does not work like that. It's not quite building with sand in Minecraft, where you make a wrong move and it'll crush you. Or digging under sand in Minecraft. Or gravel. Anyway, right. What I was thinking of doing was curving this tower. Not this tower. It's not a tower. Nice. So what I was thinking of doing was curving this. So that it will be more towards that gate. Problem is doing it right. Because I need it done in such a way, because I don't want to build a gate on triangular pegs. It doesn't work as well. Oh, but Vincent, castles usually just have straight... Well, I don't want to just build a normal castle. I want to build my castle. I do remember the Singing Castle. Vaguely. I don't remember everything you guys did. But I remember that phrase being important. Was it some kind of trick you were playing? From there to here, from here to there, all black and brown, covered with hair. Still that girl, the summer hair, the bear, the maiden fair. I remember the Singing Castle. Just wish I remembered more of it. There, that's lining up pretty well. Right. You know, you guys did great. Like, I was thinking of recounting as much of that campaign as I could into, like, a green text story, like for Reddit. Partially so I can boast about what I did to you guys as a GM, but also because, honestly, you guys helped weave a pretty awesome tale. Like, it was awesome, and I'm glad you guys were my first DMing experience. I will. Okay, so more about the plans of this castle. Starting here, I actually want there to be stairs going up, so that the throne room is up here, and I have room down here to build more buildings. Is this still fucking here? No, yeah, you did a good job. I like your character builds. Do you think this castle will be big enough? Probably. Now, I do have more land that I've essentially claimed for myself. I am the one who walled all of that off. But I want to use that space for something that is not the castle. Well, yes, it's a bit flat right now. Listen, smartass, do you have any idea how tall that fucking thing is going to be? That tower I want to be excessively tall for no other reason than I want it to be a tall, triangular building. I want this whole castle to be ridiculously tall. I want it to rival that mountain. And that one. Mostly that one. That's more reasonable. Because until I get a clan to help me, about as tall as me you go. Until I get a clan to help me, I'm the only one here. I'm the only one working on this. So... One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. Damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 would center it. Let's go ahead and make one more round tower. But this time... Ooh, wait. I want this to be the biggest round tower. Right? It was too much of a bitch to not use it. Oh shit, I'm starving. I didn't realize I hadn't eaten. I've been suiciding so often that I haven't been in one place long enough to starve. Okay. Let's try that again. From there to here, from here to there, all black and brown and covered with hair. Smell that current summer hair, the bear, and the maiden fair. Okay, I know just how to do this. I am an expert builder. Okay, I'm not an expert, but I'm definitely better than a novice. I do know what I'm doing. Damn it! Alright, the server shuts down for a couple minutes every night to kind of refresh. And I forgot. It is fun. You can transfer, check messages and things like that, you know. I would rather give. Oh no, I'm gonna go back to it in a few. I'm in the zone. I'm in the building zone, bro. I know exactly how to build that shit. While I wait, what I'll go ahead and do is, on single player, I have the ability to turn myself into an admin and turn myself into a god that can do everything except fly. But let's see how tall we can make a tower before I get bored. How tall can a tower be? From there to here, from here to there, all black and brown. Alright, I needed to see how big a space I needed to put a map room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, you need to do that. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't even have a name? Right, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and turn that shit on. Admin rights granted. Now this armor. Remember that spooky armor I put on to go into the volcano? This is the ultimate look that I want to go for the character that you just saw me working as, because this is the best armor in the game, and no one else seems to dye it like ever, but I did, because I thought it looked fucking metal. Alright, let's see. A name for an angel demon character. Nephil? No, that's silly. Admin panel. Let's see how many of those we made. From there to here, from here to there, all black and brown. Smell like the summer air, the bear, the maiden fair. Alright. Oh, I know it does. It'll never stop saying that either. Oh, shit. Mom's an invalid building placement. Oh no, trust me. It did for a while, and then eventually I grew tired of caring. Alright, let's get that admin panel back up so that we can get... Okay, God mode is on. Eating may as well be off. There's no point. Delicious foods and waters. Let's go with no sprint cost. It does. Awesome. Alright. We're seeing how tall we can get this motherfucker. From there to here, from here to here, all black and brown and covered in hair. Well, oh, that's all this. Hang on, got a call to make. What's up? Good news, bad news, hilarious news. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, wow. That's fucked up. Telling you, man. Wow. on a second. Yeah. Ah. So... Mm-hmm. That's hilarious. That's funny. I am currently building a tower as high as I can possibly build in single player while I wait for my multiplayer server to come back. Because I just want to see. Yeah, down for scheduled maintenance. It goes down for a few minutes every night. But right now, I am building as high as I can build. Plenty. Because we've been making them to normal ratios. Rather than... I know. I know. Oh god, oh god. I really wish I could fly in single player. That's a stupid disadvantage console is at. Why the fuck can't I fly in single player? Nope. It won't turn on. Yeah, it won't turn on. The option's there, but it doesn't actually do anything. No, it's definitely not just you. So, like, PC has it, but... Lasagna. I think I'll get more out of it. For those of you listening at home, I am currently on the phone with my roommate also. I just refuse to stop streaming because there's no point. Fuck no. All we're doing is talking about lasagna. Okay, well, yeah, obviously, when you're ready to come home, then I'll come get you. But until then, you're grabbing lasagna. Listen, I don't have time for your sass. Or your, like, mouth words, or your facts, or anything that you just said. But I'll come get you soonish. Oh my god. Why can't I fly? No, I won't be able to teleport to the top of what I'm doing. Like, not safely. I will probably miss it. We need milk, we need tea. Oh, I'm talking to my roommate. We need milk, we need tea. We need some kind of meat, because we're pretty much... Do we? Oh, right, we have all that meat in the freezer. Keep forgetting. Well, then we should, like, use it. Make fucking... soup, stew, something. We have all that meat. Sure, some of it's a year old, but it's probably perfectly good. Because it was in the freezer the whole time. None of it looks gray, so... It's the best sign. Oh. What happened? That's cool. That's fun. Not like my night was you know, free for once or anything. I'm just joking. I still have rehearsal, so it didn't matter. It would have been nice. Well, I'll tell you what. Yo, Ian, are you free tomorrow? Night, I mean? Or are things happening in Las Cruces? Cook what for? Oh, damn. Nah, he's working tomorrow. I was gonna invite you to our Mutants and Masterminds game. We have the book now. Oh, Jesus, you work the same shitty shift that Damon does. 6:30 to 3 a.m. Well, I know he gets to come in later than you, but it's a similar shift. I know. I'm just saying, it's similar, but yes, he technically has it about an hour better than you do. 2 hours, because he comes in later and gets out earlier. Anyway. Yep. Oh my god, how fucking... Wow. I don't know how tall this is anymore. Milk, tea. I said we needed meat, but you pointed out we have meat. We have eggs. We have ramen. Yeah, no, that's the thing about full-time hours, is they suck. Let's see. What the fuck else? What the fuck else do we need? Quick. YouTube. Tell me what the fuck else I need, like, in my pantry. Oh, we're out of cookies. I know, I just thought I'd mention it. We have bread. We still have some... that's true. We still have some cheese. Fuck. Shit. We have cereal. We still have an unopened loaf. We have some cheese. That might... I don't know. No, I've just had brisket. Never had brisket sandwiches because I just have brisket. Pretty sure. Or maybe not, I don't know. It's been a while since I've had brisket. I just know that I've had it. Alright. I will be there in a few minutes. I have got to see how tall this gets. Okay, fine. I'll be there in a few minutes. Let me just tell the audience goodbye for now, and then I'll be back. Anyway, so alright, YouTube. Mostly just you, though. I am gonna get off for a little bit. Gotta go pick up my roommate from grocery shopping. But I will be back, because I am not done. So... What if you wanted to get on? I would fight. I'm just joking. Anyway, so I'll be back. TTFN, ta-ta for now. What I am going to do when I get back is I am going to build... I'm going to keep building this tower. Oh my god. I can barely see the ground through the distance fog. Holy shit. This is fucking rad. Alright. Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes to maybe half an hour. Bye.